everyone, and welcome back to Rebooked, the show where we talk about the big meaty men and women who be slapping the meat in the middle of the ring and the stories they're telling in the process, brother. I'm, of course, GB. You have Jake. You also have Matt. And today we are back talking about pro wrestling because it's been a while. We took a break because I just had a lot of things going on, a lot of travel and things that I wasn't able to like produce the show on the road like I would normally be able to. So we decided to take a little bit of a chillcation, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Right. How was your guys' break?
Hiatus?
Hiatus.
Is that
How
what they
was your
call it? Or
yeah? How was your hiatus, Matt? You did a big
off-season?
thing. You did a big show.
I did it, yeah, a decentish show. TNA had Bound for Glory, our biggest event of the year, and this year we meant it because we broke the attendance record that we set at Slammiversary,
Wow.
which is pretty
Beautiful.
cool.
That's awesome, man.
Just by a little bit, but we're
Mhm.
eking, small gains here and there, and just continuing to,
It's all a matter of progress.
dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Up, and all that good stuff. No, it was a really, really cool event. We even got to do, if you saw it, they did the small little entranceway, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. Like it was almost like the Rumble entranceway style, where it's just like
Yeah.
literally just the VOM, like the tunnel with surrounded by screens, and that's literally it, which is pretty cool. So no, big night. Really, really some incredible matches. And the TNA World Title came home. So
It
Yeah.
sure did.
Dude, it finally happened. Feels like it
did.
was firstly, great match. I loved it. Great match, emotional ending for Santana there as well, which was really cool. Yeah, man. That was just like,
yeah, we'll talk more about it when we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. But that was like the big thing. We were wrapping up our Edmonton tapings, and then we went into BFG and stuff like that. And so now we're just looking ahead to the end of the year and moving
How
towards
was it going to those places? What like the places you were doing the shows at and stuff? Traveling America
and Canada. Yeah, we were up in Edmonton. First time I'd been there in a while. And all love to Edmonton. Ain't shit to do in Edmonton, folks. It's pretty it's an old oil town, but like they have obviously the Oilers and stuff there. But like, dude, I think we were competing with a CFL game, and we still had like a full house both nights, like of our last TV taping there before BFG. So, again, just houses are good, crowds are good, like locker rooms good, good
That's
vibes.
awesome, man. That's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Jake, how's everything in your neck of the woods? How's Bama?
Man, it was good. We got to go back for my niece's wedding,
Nice.
which was right in the middle of the Alabama Vanderbilt game.
Yeah.
But Auburn had a bye week anyway. So because she's an Auburn graduate, makes me sick.
Oh my.
Anyway,
oh God. Okay.
But Alabama won, so that's fine. And technically Auburn didn't. But no, the wedding was great. It was a lot of fun. I saw my dad. My dad was cutting a rug. And I've never seen that in my life. My dad was dancing to the live band.
Okay.
And also singing along to songs that I didn't know that he knew the lyrics to.
Yeah. Just
so like that was kind of weird.
Casually
but
rapping to, Drake and
that's definitely Drake was definitely playing at this wedding.
A little bit of F the Police.
Knew every word to Not Like Us, and
then every single word.
Then did Despacito word for word. Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. It was great seeing family, great seeing friends, as always.
How surreal was it seeing your niece get married?
I was gonna say, did that make you feel old a little bit?
It did for me. For the one recently I went to.
It's weird. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like it's I guess being away has made it a little easier because it's just like I'm used to these time jumps now of like, oh, you're you're a larger person now. You're almost an adult. Oh, now you are an adult. Oh,
Yeah.
now you're
Don't remind
engaged
us.
and getting, and it's just, it's really weird. It's really weird. It makes
Yeah.
me feel so old. It
Yeah.
makes me feel so old.
But you know,
Yeah.
it's also it's a fun experience, you know, and
Oh yeah, because like you think, like you keep thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna miss when this is gone. Like when they run up to me, like Molly, the one who got married, she used to run up to me as soon as I came in the door and would say, Jake, throw me on the couch, throw me. Okay, and I just pick her up and throw her onto the couch, and she loved it. That's all she wanted me to do. And so it's weird to be like, oh, I'll miss this, but then you start like learning about them, and they can start holding better conversations, and then like
they're now human,
they're,
you know.
Yeah, and so now you're having like meaningful conversations with them, and it's like both great and terrifying at the same time, and it's so strange, but yeah, it's great. It's great.
No, really, I went my dad's stepdaughter, her kids, like it's a weird family dynamic, but her kids, her oldest daughter got married, and they have called me uncle for a very long time, and I've kind of referred to them as nieces for a while, since you know they were kids. I've known them.
Are you Uncle Golden Boy?
No, I'm
at family events.
So it's weird. It's a weird thing because my dad's name is Alex, my brother's name is Alex, and my name is Alex.
Wait, I don't. This might be GB lore that I don't know. Your brother's name is Alex?
Yeah, it's the
like
same. It's Alex Mendez.
So are you like the third or the second?
Yes, I am technically the third, which is very frustrating.
Wait, but you can only be so is your brother?
Your brother's
the second?
older. He's the second one.
Yes, my brother.
But like, it has to go generational. It can't be lateral.
I don't freaking
You can't
know,
be a
man.
lateral, Alex.
Tell that to George Foreman. George Foreman
That's why
named
he
all
did it.
900 of his kids George.
Yeah, that's why he did it.
George.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's the
That's
lore.
wild.
He liked George Foreman. Fuck if I know. Anyway, so they call me Uncle Andrew, which is my middle name. So they call me that.
You're not an Andrew. I'm sorry, but I won't. I don't care for that.
No, I send
I know it. I know it. I send it back. I know that has personal meaning, but I send it back.
No one gets more bent out of shape about that than my wife. She hates it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
that'd be so weird.
You're not Andrew, you're Alex. And it's like, dude, I'm just living, man. I don't know.
You
what
should
to
fight
tell
each
you.
other for it.
It's like I don't like being
You and your
called
brother
Jacob.
should fight.
And that's my legal name.
Oh, Jacob. Yeah, no, Jacob. No, doesn't work.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
way.
saying. And my parents never had the intention to call me Jacob. They were always going to call me Jake. And they were like, I don't know why we didn't just name you Jake.
You see, for me, it's the opposite. They had no intention of calling me Alex. They've called me Andrew. But in every other aspect of my life, I'm Alex. So it's just, I've kind of just
I don't
accepted
care
it.
for it.
Speaking of Jacob, I watched the entirety of the Twilight Saga with Cynthia. Finished it just yesterday. And
Why?
Even I haven't done that.
honestly, I don't know why we did it. She just was like, you haven't seen it? It's iconic. And I was like, sure. And then there were like some scenes. I mean, honestly, it's genuinely
Iconic.
like a horrible
Like the
movie.
Hindenburg footage is iconic.
I
Like
guess
in that
so.
kind of iconic.
I guess in that capacity.
The Zapruder film
Not
is
all
iconic.
iconic clips have to be good or positive.
Sure.
But yeah, so we watched all 5 of those movies. Man, look, if you've never seen the Twilight movies, and honestly, you don't have to. Just know
That's
the
great
whole
news.
thing is she just wants to be a vampire, man. That's it. That's the whole gimmick. Once you realize that's the movie, all her actions, everything she does, the way that she acts, it all freaking makes sense. This lady just, she learned that motherfucker's immortality stricken, and she wanted that, and that was it. And that was like the whole movie. So yeah.
Go watch What We Do in the Shadows if you want to watch somebody.
Yeah, there are probably, I'm sure that there are, well, no, I'm not sure. I know there are better vampire movies out there. It also was very striking. They never show them with fangs, ever. In the
Budget
entire,
cuts.
Yeah.
I
That was
guess
where they drew the line on the budgets. I guess they were
It
like,
interrupts the.
we'll
the
have you turn
GQ,
into a
like,
werewolf,
shots
but we're not
of
gonna
yeah,
have.
it's just really
Yeah.
bizarre. They never showed them with blood. It was just very, very odd. It was very bizarre. So that's what I did during the break. You know?
Okay.
I mean, I did like Valorant and stuff.
Some
but
had spent
Twilight
their
was
breaks better than
no,
others.
Twilight was the highlight. And I've been playing Final Fantasies, the Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles.
Oh, that's right. That
Which
dropped. Yeah.
we'll talk.
Battlefield 6.
We'll talk more about that later, fellas. We've been yapping a little bit, catching up, but I think it's time we talk about some wrestling, shall we? What's been
Okay.
going
Let's do
on?
it.
What's been the latest? What has been speaking to people lately? What's been what's the scuttlebutt?
Well, let me jump into it. Oh,
The
was
scuttlebutt.
somebody gonna scuttle their butts?
Who wants to,
No, no.
scuttle
You were gonna
their
scuttle
butt
some butts?
first? Who wants to scuttle their
Mhm.
butt
I'll
first?
scuttle
Okay,
over.
go
I
on.
alluded to it. just
Scuttle that
because
butt
it's-
on over here.
I'll put it out there, but just because, for better or for worse, there's not much to talk about. I'm talked about TNA Bound for Glory. We covered a lot of the lead up before we had our little hiatus. So I'll just talk about the event because following up, to the chagrin of some of us behind the scenes, we were hoping to follow it up with, regular Impact shows, but those tapings got moved. So now we have more like banked shows. We did a studio show last week, kind of just doing some interviews and getting some insight about BFG. And there's going to be a documentary and blah, blah, blah. So there's a little bit less currently developing storylines in TNA until we get to our taping in November, which that'll be very fun. But for now, it's kind of at a standstill, which is too bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that said, the night itself, BFG it was really cool. I mean, the story of the night was twofold as far as story character points. And you see right there on your screen, if you're watching, the big one, Mike Santana in the main event, finally, to borrow a heavily overused phrase, finished his story, right? And I think it really did work out pretty damn well. And the match was very, very good. And it was very emotional. There was moments with his daughter. And I love the finish of this. I love the whole way this match was set up. These guys, and Mike in particular, is very good at putting these stories together. And thank God Trick had a guy like Mike there. Because Trick is such an incredible athlete and a performer, but he's still relatively newish to the wrestling business. Only been in like 5-6 years, which in professional terms is still very green in many ways.
In wrestler years, that's
Yeah, dude. I got told
it's like dog years.
Yeah. They're like, you're gonna be green for your first 5 years, whether you think you are or not. Like,
Right.
don't start thinking you're not. But yeah, no, it started off hot before the bell because Trick was talking his ass off. Mike jumped him, which then led to Mike getting busted open before the bell even rang. So it was his anger, it was his passion over this whole situation at Trick's arrogance that it triggered him, and it ended up kind of costing him for a good portion of the match. Obviously, spending most of the match bleeding. But then, his daughter front row, she slaps Trick at one point, which is great. And then and thank God, you never know if they're going to get these shots, but they got a wonderful shot of right before, Mike threw one thing, Trick kicked out, and Mike looks literally crawling towards his daughter, blood running down his face, pointing at her nah, I'm not done yet. This is going to do it. Set up, reverse, whatever it was, boom. Spin the block, took his head off, 1, 2, 3. And then the moment after, presenting the title to his daughter, because that was his whole thing, is I'm bringing this to you. And it was just such a raw, real moment.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, really cool to see. Really, really cool to be there and feel that from everybody. And it was, I give them a lot of credit too. The show order got switched last minute, and the Hardys Team 3D retirement match was right before it. And it was originally supposed to have a buffer or two in between to kind of reset everybody. and it got shuffled because of last minute changes. And so it went back to back. And the emotion, that was the other big story character thing of the night, was the retirement of Team 3D in their tables match with the Hardys. And that one, the match itself, as from the wrestling perspective, wasn't, a 10 out of 10. But these guys, they told a story. They kind of replayed some of their greatest hits, if you will. Jeff did the WrestleMania 2000 entrance swanton off the ladder through Devon, which is insane. Cut his back of his head wide open on the bottom rung of the ladder. And yeah, and then they did the little bit of the people kept calling it a Ric Flair. It's not a Ric Flair finish, but it was a little bit of that like Old Yeller kind of finish.
Right.
Where, Dudley.
I forgot they're NXT champions too.
They're NXT, both titles were on the line as well, technically. So, this one was very more like emotion driven, especially the end and a long finish. They took their boots off in the ring, gave them to the Hardys, which is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there were other, Javon and Leon Slater are psychopaths.
That was incredible.
And piss me off for how far ahead of the game both of them are.
I was seeing so many clips from that match.
Worst finish of the night, of course, because they had, it was a run in. Everybody was upset. We were upset. But both NXT and TNA, excuse me. Sorry, folks, kind of had their golden gooses at the moment in Javon and man, the two hottest commodities they have. I don't think I'm gilding the lily too much to tell you, like, neither side wanted to see their top, prospect losing that one. So it sucked. We all hated it.
Right.
But like, there was kind of no other out.
Business needed to be done. Okay.
You could have done like a double count out or some kind of wild. You could have, sure, but I think this will help them set up a Dark State match, and then I'm sure they'll be tagging and fighting each other for decades to come, these two, because they're both like 21 and then 23 or something.
Insane, man.
Insane.
Those two are.
And I blabbed. You guys, did you guys have any quick reactions to BFG from the things you did see?
I mean, for me, the obviously, Mike Santana being the first Puerto Rican world champion is pretty damn awesome.
And we have a Puerto Rican president. Of the company.
Yeah. So, it's kind of
a
us Puerto Ricans are having a little,
I see.
So we're having a little bit of a moment. Because I don't know if you know this.
The fix was in.
I see what you're saying. The fix was in. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but United States is Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. Yeah.
Look, don't let these immigrants spin the story, okay? First, it's the Super Bowl. Then it's the TNA World Championship.
What's next?
You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
What's next?
What else are we gonna take over our confusing nationality looking asses? So I thought that
somebody
was pretty
had
cool.
To say it.
and I also, I'm glad that it was like a straight up finish, that it was just like pinned right in the middle of the ring, spin the block, you're done, boom. I liked, even though it was a little convoluted, I did like what happened afterwards. I dug it. Because now apparently Nemeth and Frankie are call your shot winners. How does that work? How does
excellent question. I'll text Santino Marella right now to try to find out. That was another interesting decision, especially considering there was the Leon and Javon thing. It was a little bit of like butting heads on matches that with finishes. It was that we had the time limit and then the run in. There was a little bit of wonkiness there, no doubt about it. But both guys tried to call. Nobody officially called their shot though. I think that was. I was split on it too, because I think the idea was, first off, you have that moment. Mike did it, but before he even touched the belt, Nick's music hit, and it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Mhm.
He's going to get screwed again. It's a little bit of that. No, Mike, he's just not destined for this, right? Like,
Yeah.
heartbreak just keeps coming for Mike Santana. So we hope, but Elijah helps him out there. Frankie tries to run his own kind of interference. He gets taken out. So I think it's a combination of just trying to tease you with the, oh no, are they going to screw Mike again? And then showing you that he can continue to overcome. That, I mean, was it maybe a tiny bit much? Yeah, I would have loved to just have the moment be longer with him celebrating and with his
No, but I think
kid and
it's
everything, but-
okay. I think it's fine because TNA, like, you need. I don't know if this is going to sound. I don't think it's mean, but TNA obviously like needs to set up more, right? I think like when
think so, too.
WWE like did, like Cody winning right at 40, and AEW did Hangman winning it All Out. Like they had done a lot, and I think at that point like people were already on board. Whereas like with TNA, like you kind of got to show who are like now the new players who are going to be the new kind of like faces that are going to be involved in this title picture now that Trick is firmly out of it. So we
Right.
think. So I like that it showed you Nick and it showed you Frankie. How's that going to play out? Lord knows, but I would assume it's going to be good because both of those guys are really, really like dialed in.
Yeah.
And I feel like what is great about this current situation is all these people that are in the picture very much are like, they're TNA through and through, right? Like Nic Nemeth,
Yep.
he's been, I don't think he's done anything where he's appeared on NXT or anything like that. Like it's very clear. He's like,
he's a matter of fact even said that he's come out right and said that he's not going to be on
like
NXT.
Like these are the guys that are gonna put TNA like up, like up onto the next level. I think.
Continue, yeah.
Yeah, I think these
agree.
are like the perfect people. Nic Nemeth, are you kidding me? He's like pound for pound, just one of the greatest performers in wrestling ring like ever. Frankie Kazarian, this guy has been great since his return and continues to find ways to keep his character engaged, even though the man should have been world champion ages ago and now is like finally back in that title picture. And then Elijah, who's like actually going to be able to like stretch his legs in TNA and do things that he probably wouldn't have been able to do on Monday Night Raw because it's such a crowded roster. Like it's it's good. And then Mike Santana, who like they've built this incredible natural baby face, someone that you want to cheer for, very raw, didn't need a viral hit. Not to say there's anything bad about that, but
no,
this was a guy who just like came back, said, I'm back because I want to be in TNA and I want to be the world champion. And that's my passion. And that's what's driving me. And that resonates with people. They dig that stuff. Everyone feels like they're very much on team TNA. And now this is like, this is good times ahead. I think I'm excited for TNA.
Yeah.
Jake, I don't know. Jake,
I'm
if you have
very,
anything
very
you want
curious.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, it kind of lends itself to something that I wanted to talk about a little bit, but yeah, I like the direction that TNA is heading. I agree with everything you said, honestly, Andrew. But
oh, it's so weird when you say it.
It's
icky. Oh, it's nasty.
It felt terrible off of the tongue too.
God,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But so during the break for me, I watched almost no wrestling.
Oh.
Now, for a lot of reasons, but one, this to me is the best time of year for shoot sports, we'll call them.
Yeah.
This is the best time of year. We're in the throes of football. Basketball's about to start back. Baseball is in their playoffs, about to have the World Series. NHL has started back. Like, this is the best time of year for sports. And I have been so very hooked on watching these shoot sports that it made me want to see some more of, and I've kind of talked about this a little bit before, but like I've been trying to, as I've been watching these, is thinking like, how can we apply some of the feelings and emotions from these real world sports to wrestling to make them more entertaining and to make it more relatable and easier to connect to. And I think that you hit on it with talking about Santana, about how he just feels like this. It just feels organic with him, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's the big thing. It's hard to manufacture that.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would be done all the time. But like, I just think that wrestling, I think, needs to do a better job of following the heat when there's heat. And because I understand this mindset of like, oh, well, they're a flash in the pan, they're a whatever. Like, one of the biggest examples to me is LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
He's still wildly popular and he's still wildly over, but his peak, we did nothing with him.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like nothing happened with him. When you're watching stuff like last night, I watched Game 7 of the ALCS between the Blue Jays and the Mariners, because you're talking about these are two organizations in the Blue Jays who haven't been to the World Series in 32 years. And the Mariners who have never been to the World Series.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
That is, and listening to the crowd at Rogers Center for the Blue Jays, like, the atmosphere was electric. And I'm just trying to think of more ways, is like what does wrestling need more of to capture that? Because I think when it's at its best is when it has captured that. We just saw it with Santana. You mentioned it with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. These are these seemingly organic moments where we followed the heat, so to speak, and made it pay off. Now, if it had been WWE, Santana, they'd be like, no, he's got to wait a year or two to win it because for some arbitrary reason. Like, it feels like that would have happened instead of like just continuing to tell the story the best way possible to fit like what we're doing. And we've talked about it so many times on here that wrestling is so good when you pivot, but like, who doesn't love watching an underdog, and who doesn't love watching two underdogs who are in a situation to make their dreams come true and they've never been there? If we don't do something like that, give me the Mariners and Blue Jays arc with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's never won a world championship on the main roster.
Yep.
First of all, that's a crime. But second of all, like, my God, let's go with that story. And I hope that Dragunov taking the title off of him, which was another big shocker to me, a huge pleasant surprise. I hope that that's the direction that we're maybe going to start heading with Sami, but I don't know.
Sure.
But I feel like there's ways that we can implement shoot sports and things that happen within it to build more tension or excitement or things like that. And I wrote, like, the two biggest ideas that I wrote down. One I have talked about on here before. I want an independent arbitrary committee ranking the top 10 wrestlers.
Okay. Well, like
in a given company or in a
given company.
Okay.
So WWE has their
power rankings.
Yes, and now we've kind of done stuff. We've kind of done stuff like that before. AEW did it with ranking people based on their records and that kind of stuff. But see, this is where the fun comes in, because the one thing everybody's bitching about every college football season is that these who are the people that are in charge of these rankings? How are you going to have this team over that team? Well, because that team has one loss. Well, and this team has one loss and this one has 0. Yeah, but this one loss was to the number 2 team, and they've also beat 3 ranked opponents.
We
and
should
they're playing, and they're in
a ranking of our own, I think.
I mean, something like that, but like what can be fun is like it's you have this committee and it's made of, like, let's say we do it with WWE. You bring in some, your commissioner of that committee is Mick Foley, right? Yeah. And then you have a few other people who are in it, and then they, announce every week, every month, whatever it is, here's the rankings for this week. And it's just like the top 10. And your champion is not ranked because they're a champion. So you just do like the number 1 team is like the number one is the number 1 contender. But then it's like, because then you can have people argue about like, well, he doesn't belong there because he beat him, or why is he higher when he's fought lesser opponents?
That is literally what AEW did, though, right? And people hated it. So
the power ranking,
the power ranking.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that? I mean, because I remember it was kind of like that, because like someone got a title shot because their rank was like a particular, I forget who it was, and then people were like, "That's stupid. Why would she hasn't won anything? Why would she get this title match?"
But that's exactly what I think kind of makes it, because then you can fabricate whatever you want to make these situations, and like you can always play it off as like, oh well. Creative decision. Why don't you talk to the guys who are doing the rankings over here? They're the ones who
important to have like a character associated to it, because I think where AEW,
that's why I said
was that it was like an arbitrary thing, and then it came out, and then you're like, okay, who's deciding this? Oh, it's just like a couple people in a boardroom who you don't know.
No.
Whereas,
which is kind of how it is with college football rankings, quite honestly. But like, there is a face of it. There's a chairman every year, a chairperson every year, and you do the same kind of thing. And you're like, oh well,
basically,
And it's like, well, these are the people, and then he comes on ESPN and explains, okay, why did you rate this person, this person, this person, whatever. I just think it gives people more to talk about. You can fabricate these like underdog situations where, whoa, hey, this guy came flying up the rankings out of nowhere. Why is he suddenly up here?
Situations. Honestly, kind of to roll off of that. No, I know it sounds funny saying that, but I like
in a fictional TV show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like fabricate it, right? Like, for example, Cynthia, my wife, she gets really frustrated with the cash matches that AEW is doing. And apparently they did the number, and they're up to like $3.5 million given out
this year.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I freaking love it. It's so good. No, it's good. It's good because you know what? The Young Bucks took it and made it into a storyline where they were giving out money.
Well, that's my thing.
Weeks, and they actually did something with it. They also the money. This is great. The money that Ricochet and Gates of Agony won is what they used to front their operations for the Demand. You know what I mean? Like
if they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they're using it to make storylines, that's why it
was bullshit. In the beginning, it was just money, and then it was whatever, right? But then AR Fox stole money from Ricochet in one match, and then they actually ran with it for a couple episodes of Collision. So
to that point, I think that's true. But it also, like, I think if it might be in our writers' room. Scan had that. Yeah, he has that. How many matches is that? They've done like 12 money matches this year.
Yeah.
How about you do 2? Let me do 2. And then you make a storyline out of the money. Like, make it one of them at Revolution, one of them at Full Gear.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or on maybe on
like
this one,
or like the one that was 4 million pesos. Like it's only pesos and he can't get them exchanged.
Yeah.
But
you know what? If they do this, if they do this scale back, I want them to do it just like the way that they do it in esports, where every year they announce, hey guys, we're so excited about these new changes. We're now scaling back operations, but we're going to be doing a big event at the end of the year. And then that will be your $500,000 money match.
I thought you said esports. I thought they were going to do like a crowd-funded pool
or that,
like a winner's pool.
Buy
Can you
some
imagine people
skins in
donating to a
AEW Fight
fake?
Forever, and then you can add to the prize pool. I get what you're saying, but also, whatever. Like
No, my point is though and this is, I made this argument about Mercedes belts recently. It's if everything is special, nothing is special kind of thing. So if you're doing these every month, even if you do a little like storyline, which results in a backstage and maybe a match, like how about you just do it twice, maybe 3 times a year and make it good?
Played a role in the Young Bucks storyline for a while now.
No, I know. And so for them, it worked, but not doing it this 12 other times where it didn't mean anything.
Right.
It meant something in about 3 of those cases, is my point.
Yeah.
Don't just keep throwing it out on random dynamites just because you want to advertise. You want your graphic to look different this week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be it's a very vintage idea. That was the old territory thing. Like, it's the $5,000 battle royal here at the Memphis Civic Center.
Yeah,
Who's walking away with it? It's a very territory thing.
Yeah.
But
I think
if
you have this ranking committee, like they can have bias just like any other ranking committee or what, like, because in college football, the commissioner changes every year. It's a different person every year. So it's like, okay, well, this year it's a heel. This year it's a face.
And
This year
should do it, and it should be Tommy Dreamer just looking angry the whole time. That's what they should do.
My big pushback on that is one, where is now the power balance with your general manager who can make matches and make contenders and stuff like that? He can still make matches. There's some. Then it's convoluted because it's like, well, do I defer to this committee or
the committee does not make matches. All they do is rank people. That's it.
Well, so I think still, I think that limits creativity because now everything is based off of a ranking and it can't be a blood feud for the world title or anything like that. Because, we haven't seen you in 6 months, but even though you have a 2-year history with the champion and you want to kill him, nope, you've got to abide by the committee's ranking.
But it's just like in any other sport where it's like Auburn's been shit for the past decade and a half, but I still want to play them every year on my schedule, and I'm going to because that's part of the history of the program. It's still the same thing with wrestlers. It's like, just because this guy and this guy aren't ranked doesn't mean that they're never going to fight each other.
No, but if, for example, if you have a champion that somebody has a personal feud story with, but they haven't won X number of matches, they don't get to fight for the title.
So I think there are other ways that you can. I think maybe it feels
like a buffer to do what you want.
I can see
and
that.
It's something like, we have to think about the committee for every story, for every match. All right, what is the committee character?
But if you do it, if you do it just for one part of the year, it's like a new version or a new form of a King of the Ring tournament in a way.
Okay.
And you do it like that, and it's like this lasts 3 or 4 months,
and then like the Continental Classic.
Yeah, it's like the kind of, but lasts like a while, and then then all it does is the rankings eventually seed a tournament, and then it's the tournament. Whoever wins that tournament.
One thing that I've taken away from learning about college football from you, Jake, is that college football is a very convoluted space, and it is actually a good representation of the United States. Where they just take ideas and just make it, just add layers onto it, just because why not? We're just gonna do this because we just want it to be that way. To a degree, yeah. And I respect it. Do I get it? No, not at all. Don't understand it at all. But do I respect it? Kind of. I can kind of.
And that's what we love in our wrestling: convoluted ideas.
Right.
I mean, hey, TNA should try it. They're into all sorts of convoluted ideas all the time.
Matt,
I will shoot that down in committee.
I'll volunteer as commissioner. Oh
God! Try commentating a King of the Mountain match. I've done volunteer. It's stupid.
I will say though that I think that one of the aspects of, and this actually, I gotta say, it kind of flows into the topic that I kind of wanted to talk about, which was the one thing of wrestling that I have been watching, surprise, surprise, has been AEW. And I have been enjoying the things that they do on that show because it is different. They are approaching things differently to me, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean that they are, like I'm not going to measure it against WWE and TNA and everything else, but like to me and how it's presented and how I'm enjoying it and stuff, it just feels different. Like for example, like I was really wondering how they were going to do things post Hangman winning it all out, and I have been very impressed with like just the way they kind of move things along in a post like Osprey and Swerve kind of being around all the time world, right? Like they've had to like move away from them a bit. Cope isn't there right now because he's like, I think, filming a movie. So Christian's going to be away for a little while. Like, just like, how are they going to, all these like stories that they were kind of like wrapping up, how are they going to move forward from it? And I got to say, man, Wrestle Dream was like a really, really good show. Like just a top. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch or see any of it, but the way that they had built it out, I because AEW, they do like a ton of matches on the card. It's like an insane amount. And sometimes not all the matches need to be on there. And there probably was like one or two matches that you could have taken away from this Wrestle Dream card and it would have been okay. But that seems to always be the case with AEW shows, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But every match had like a really good steady progression, and no match like overstayed its welcome. So, oh my God, my camera's losing its mind. No match like overstayed its welcome. And I think like, I don't know, something about the way,
which is unusual for AEW, to be honest.
Yeah. It feels like they're kind of like maturing a little bit with how they're telling their in-ring stories and how they're doing their matches. Like the I Quit match, for example, right? And apparently we learned that it was because you couldn't have blood in Missouri. Like they had to work around it. I thought that limitation actually made it
weird,
a better match.
Weird what happens when you don't rely on that fucking constantly.
Yeah, I agree. And match was really good. And it just proved to me that like AEW can easily do matches that are hardcore without blood if they wanted to and go just as extreme as what they've done in the past. Freaking waterboarded a guy, you know? So like, it was more of like an aquarium and a drowning.
It was a straight drowning. It was more than waterboarding.
Yeah,
the spirit of it, sure.
It was a spirit of suffocation. But yeah, and like, I think it's just like this. It's very clear, like not only has AEW found their identity, but they've also like matured the way that they've done their matches, their planning. Like, I don't know, just even and I want to also give a massive shout out, whoever came up with this idea. The way that the show started was awesome too. So because like AEW sometimes like they run over.
Oh, that it bled into
it bled into the pay-per-view. But that was actually like really well done. And the way it looked when the pay-per-view started, it was freaking Jet Speed and FTR, just like middle of the ring, exchanging blows as like the fireworks were like popping off in the background. It was a really cool visual, just like a sick way to approach it. And I just appreciated it. It was just cool to see things done. Like they're carving their own path. They're doing it their own way.
Well, that's we've done that twice this year in TNA. So suck it. But that it is an old, ever since the pre-show or kickoff show, whatever you wanted to call them, been introduced to pay-per-views 20 something whatever years ago. Yeah, it can work. I mean, it's oh cool. We're out of time. The pay-per-view is starting, folks. Join us if you want to watch. Especially because you give them the free thing, but oh shoot, this fight just started. Maybe you get a couple extra buys. It's like very classic. There were some people. There was a critique out there that I had to laugh at from a journalist
Oh boy.
who was like, it just comes off as low rent and amateur. Like, what the hell? You can't time a show? And I go,
Wait,
you fucking
really?
kidding me? We're in the universe of like where they don't have time limit. You know what I mean? They're just fighting till there's a winner. So
Right.
why would they magically finish the match every single time at 6:59 p.m.?
Yeah, yeah.
So every so often, oh shoot, this pre-show match is going. Oh my god, they're going to go right into the opening of the show. I think why wouldn't that happen every now and then?
Yeah, that should
And so yeah,
be
like
the case.
that critique blew my mind.
Yeah. That's just
But
silly.
on that note, I agree. I was just thinking about this the other day. A small note on that. I don't know whether it's that maturation of AEW or just their more, I think, thinking ahead and planning, like you were saying. A big one to me was I love the Samoa Joe turn.
Yeah.
I just think he's such a better heel. That presence about him.
Yeah.
He's a good baby face, but he's just really good heel.
Yeah.
And I get it. It works enough. He couldn't beat Hangman. Screw him. I got these big bad buddies with me. But also timing of that with the Hurt Syndicate's babyface change. And it wasn't like they did it on a dime. Like, oh shoot, we're gonna turn the ops heel, so let's make the Hurt Syndicate babyface in the matter of a week. No, they've been kind of positioning the Hurt Syndicate for like 2 months now, slowly kind of going that route. And then they've kind of officially hit
Even
that
how they lost
milestone.
the tag titles, it was not done in a manner that was, nefarious or anything like that. It was just, like they lost it, and then, like the demand kind of popped up, and they were like, oh no, we gotta handle business, and it became a blood feud.
Yeah, and I think so it kind of worked. The ships passed right at the right time between like the ops turning heel, Hurt Syndicate turning face. Nothing felt rushed or unnatural. So like, again, it's just that forethought. It's that planning into these characters and stuff that you're seeing more of. And I want to continue to see that in AEW. I think it's great.
Yeah. I've been enjoying it, man. It's been good with subject.
Speaking of tag titles, WWE's have been as like invisible as the Epstein files lately, and now they're suddenly held by a team that was thrown together.
Yeah,
that was
because
it
just feels
like, wait, what?
Team AJ Lee.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Yeah.
Or Dragon Styles. I actually think Dragon Styles would be
pretty. Dragon Styles is
they
awesome.
They should call themselves Dragon Styles, but WWE checks in the mail.
That's a great name. Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird. But also like honestly, Judgment Day, we're doing nothing with it.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but like
they always fall into that. Yeah,
that happens every fucking time.
I can't remember God, this is bad. Raw and SmackDown each have tag titles still, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but those Raw tag titles,
disappear.
I can't remember.
You have a 3-hour show
run,
and how do we not see them?
like year and a half or more? You know what I mean?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is WWE really just that?
I don't think they know how to
tag team wrestling.
I don't think they know how to book tag team wrestling.
I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And that's coming from a guy who's been in the middle of it. I mean,
it's crazy to me.
I could make an argument that the last I'm sure there's somebody over the last significant like tag title was like New Day.
Was New Day. Yeah.
After they lost,
and then that didn't even
reign,
last long. Oh, you're talking
No, I'm talking about like
2016,
2017, 2018 time frame.
Yeah.
After they lost their record-breaking reign or whatever, it's been a very hodgepodge. I mean, recently, it also feels like maybe Judgment Day. It's been like 90% Judgment Day in the last 2 years holding those tag titles.
Yeah.
Whether it's Finn and Dom, Finn and JD, whatever. And it felt like it kind of, because Judgment Day as a group was so working so well and so popular, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we'll keep them there. And they forgot they were there.
Yeah.
And then when they had to switch them, it's like, oh wait, we keep forgetting to book the tag titles. We put them on someone else, but we're so used to them just sitting in the Judgment Day.
But it almost feels like a disrespect to the tag titles, because then they've
is.
also had this bit for a long time of like, because even New Day's been calling it out about nobody's defending the titles.
Yeah.
Nobody's going after the title.
Yeah.
So they've made time to point out that no one's defending the titles while no one's defending the title. Like,
Well,
it feels like a disrespect of
let's
the
look at the positive
tag team division.
Let's look at the positive, though. The positive is that the belts are now in the hands of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, which, if you have to make an assumption, they're going to be doing like probably open challenges of some kind, because, you know, like they need, Dragon Lee is a great wrestler. They need Dragon Lee out there a bit more, and he needs something to do. Boom, something to do. AJ Styles,
was it him that was teaming with Andrade?
Yes.
So then that makes me think that they were going to get the tag titles.
Well, Ray Phoenix was teaming with
Ray
Andrade.
Phoenix. That's who it was.
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
What happened with Ray Phoenix? That I'm also a little confused by, but also, speaking of Judgment Day, though, Dominic beat Rusev, so
yep.
You know that. I mean,
the babyface arc continues.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't like that crazy. I didn't mind it. You know, a little low blow, hit him with the 619 frog splash. You know, you're done. I wonder what happens to Rusev, though. You know, I'm guessing he's going to get the Intercontinental or something eventually, right?
Maybe. I mean, that could be like your official
bring you back.
Dominic turn. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's an inevitable thing. For the full on Dominic babyface, even if it is a very cheeky heelish babyface, very Eddie style. You know what I mean?
You know,
yeah, kind of deal. But I feel like that's coming sooner than later, and maybe Rusev gets heat taking the title off him.
Yeah,
and you know it finally gives Rusev a little bit of a big win since coming back, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know that one, but I do agree with you, Jake, on the tag team wrestling assessment. It has been very disappointing. Whereas I feel like
damn near non-existent.
I do feel like in AEW they've done a really good job with the tag team and the trios now, which is not a sentence I thought I would ever say, because I wanted those belts gone, and they seem to be holding on to them because there are a lot of trios. There are, in fact, a lot of trios that can contend for that title, and then a lot of those trios are also contending for tag teams. So it is kind of working out, and I'm kind of seeing the vision come to light. Speaking of, that
was that a transition?
No pun intended, but I guess we could if we wanted to, because that was a pretty big thing that happened as well, right? What happened? So Seth Rollins hurt himself for realsies this time?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, and like his shoulder for a while. It sounds like he's gonna be out for a while.
Like a torn something bad.
Yeah,
that just sucks.
It just sucks.
That just
I thought about
sucks.
that too, because I'm like,
he has better
all leading to
his
Seth and Punk.
Yeah,
again, right, and putting a bow on that story. And you're right. He does have.
What you do? It depends on how long, right? But you could do something like, you know, Punk wins the title, because it's going to be Punk versus Jay, right? For the title.
Yes.
Is that where it's at? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Well, I thought they were doing. Did they do they were doing a battle royale, right?
They did it on Raw.
That was on Raw last night. Okay,
yes.
and so it's Jay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's Punk versus Jay for that right there, the richest prize in all of Monday Night Raw.
Adam Pearce.
Oh, ain't that the truth? Punk wins it. Here we go. Some fantasy booking, brother.
Ah, we're already back in the saddle.
We're doing this, okay?
Got cozy real quick.
Here's where I think we're at. Punk wins, right? Something happens with Jimmy and Jay. We'll explore that down the line, because there's clearly like a seed being planted.
They're already there. Yep.
Punk wins it. He goes on to, you know, have all these great defenses with the world title, and then Rollins comes back, maybe does something, Elimination Chamber, something to that effect, and
hopefully Mania
Rollins
time,
Punk,
right?
Yeah, we'll get Rollins Punk Mania, and in that
you
way,
never beat me for that title.
Exactly, right? So, you can kind of go that route, because I look there. It felt like they were going for like Seth Rollins supremacy. Was kind of like the name of the game, right? I mean, he beat Cody for the obnoxiously large title, right? The crown jewel championship. So it seemed like they were going somewhere with it. So it would make sense that he would come back and he should just come back and be like a monster, and just like beat people up, not give a fuck, want what's rightfully his. I don't know. There's opportunity to go in a different direction here. What do you guys think?
So for me, I thought about that for sure. That if you can get healthy in time for Mania, the big rematch. You never beat me for that title. It's a classic, tale as old as time. And then they can main event a night of WrestleMania 1-on-1 for the title. Achieving another one of Punk's dreams or whatever. That said, it takes a lot of the wind out of the sails of this Saturday night's main event thing, which. It's Saturday night's main event, so I'm never crazy hyped about it, but it was going to be Seth and Punk again. Or will we finally see Punk beat Seth for the title? Blah blah blah. Really kind of put this to bed. So with that off the table, him versus Jay, I'm whelmed. And because no fault of their own, it's just there's two good guys who've got a hair's worth of tension from previous title matches, but that's about it. To Jake's point earlier, I was going to make this while he was talking at the beginning of the show, going with people when they're hot, right? You had an opportunity. I mean, you took a shot with, I know it's the US title. It's like a lesser-ish title. And you brought back Ilya and boom, he won it. But here, could you have not have Seth put us, we're in a tough spot. Let's shock some systems. No TNA pun intended. Could you not have had LA Knight versus Bronson Reed as the two finalists? And then you are guaranteed a first time ever champion.
Or against Punk.
But even then, if you are guaranteed a first time ever champion.
Yeah.
Or even Braun Breaker for crying out loud.
That's why I was like, why was Braun after he took out Seth, and you can write that off as he's the guy who put Seth out of commission. He's this buzzsaw who runs through everybody in the battle royal, and CM Punk is still in a way dealing with the ramifications of what Seth started.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
And I get Punk had his match. It was already set. So he should get a shot, right? Mm-hmm. So you could make it a 3-way, or why not have Braun take out Punk at the beginning of Raw as well? They're loose cannons now without Seth, right?
Yeah.
And then it ends up being Braun and LA Knight for the title. Maybe LA wins, or maybe Braun wins, or something like that.
Right.
And then Punk is a fake injury. He takes a little time away. He comes back. He's fighting with them. Seth comes back. Unlikely tag team scenario, and they beat them, and then they fight each other. I don't know. I felt like you could have taken this moment with Seth's injury to do something. Historic is not the right word, but you know what I mean. Make
bold.
Somebody.
Yes.
Make somebody instead of making the guy you were going to make anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Punk.
Yeah. I agree. It definitely is a I don't know what it is, but it does feel like there is a lack of confidence in a lot of these guys, and it shouldn't be because they're very. Because
why did you call them up?
Yeah,
why did you call them up? Let people do what you hired them to do.
What was the story justification for them turning on Seth that they gave? Did they say anything?
Because fuck them. That's why.
Yeah, nothing ingenious. It was
because that's why.
Yeah, it was the typical heel.
We don't need you anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Even with that, did that need to happen? You know, like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
like you could have easily had Seth just be the one pulling the strings from the shadows or something to that effect. Like, there are ways you could have done it. I think that like we're hitting a point now where a lot of the I mean, I don't want to say like they're one dimensional, but it does feel like they're not as well fleshed out as they once were. You know, like when you had like the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley back and forth story with them in Judgment Day and how Dom kind of played into that, right? Like,
But then
it
they
was
don't feel
different. It
as
was
good at adapting either.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But
That's
just crazy.
what's so
considering
weird.
The most success they've ever had came from one of the biggest pivots they've ever
Right.
made in their company's history. So. Yeah, and they've been kind of forced. To be fair, they've been forced to pivot a lot. So you know,
well, honestly, I bet a lot of it has to do with TKO because it's all so numbers and money driven now more than it has ever been.
Yeah.
Not to say obviously that it
Could be.
of course it has been, but like that it's like nope, we got to put these surefire guys in the main event because we know that they're going to be a draw instead of
which is
something
why
like
I
that.
kind of like AEW a
Which
little
is
bit more
lame.
right now creatively. And why I was really digging TNA, even with the NXT thing, because at least it was, like there was something there.
Fresh.
It was different, it wasn't like the same thing that you're seeing everywhere else. Like, yeah, there was a story that, was a finish my story type of arc with Mike Santana, but like it was done in the backdrop of the NXT invasion angle, like that's really unique. Hangman won the world championship and became the main character, while you had like AEW as a company trying to figure out where they were going, and that was evident with the Death Rider story and how that started off. We're thinking Shane McMahon was involved in this sumbitch in the beginning of the whole thing and to where we got to, you know what I mean? It's like crazy. So, I think you got to let the creatives create. And when you're running everything through like who gets you the most numbers. Oh, hey, Jey Uso and CM Punk are going to sell out, like the most people, make people care the most for the Saturday night main event. Yeah. Or you could have done LA Knight. And that could have been even better. In fact, I would even say that would have been better.
Could have been solved with a ranking system. That's all I'm
okay. You and the convoluted ranking system. I can't.
The overlords.
The damn right. Okay, you got to pick. You pick Jake for WWE. Who would be on the ranking council? Pick 3 people. I'll pick for AEW. Matt pick for TNA. Who would you independent ranking council? Who would it be for WWE? And Matt, do you have any thoughts? Anyone on TNA that you can immediately say?
Me?
Yeah.
I would choose myself.
Yes.
Of course.
That would be great. Honestly, you would be oh, dude, that'd be such a funny character. Like you're
I would love it.
You're the
Matt drunk with power.
Yeah, who also is like the head of the independent
He's the
ranking
tastemaker.
commission. Yeah,
I'm the tastemaker of TNA.
People jump on commentary to try and sweeten their deal with you, bro. That'd be so funny. Oh man,
It'd be a lot of fun.
that actually would be great.
I would do. No, for real though. I would do Tom Hannafin.
Okay.
Tommy Dreamer.
Okay.
And Bully Ray.
Oh God.
Because Bully and Tommy would fight each other over everything, and
Yeah.
Tom would just be trying to referee it in the middle.
Yeah.
And I would get to laugh.
Love it. Okay, for me, I would do Don Callis because
And I was gonna say real quick, I think we should make a caveat. Not obviously these should be people who are not like active in ring
yes,
competitors in some fashion, whether authority figure or retired or whatever.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Don Callis because he weasels his way onto the commission. Obviously, goes without saying. Chuck Taylor. I think Chuck Taylor would be great.
Okay.
Because he can kind of be like the babyface balance between them. And then Renee Paquette. Renee can be, I think Renee would be a great kind of mediator. To try
she's
and
the straight man
yeah,
of the group. She's the
straight man of the group.
voice of reason.
Yeah. So I would go that route, and then obviously Renee and Don will form a coup and out Chuck Taylor. In storyline, because eventually, for me and my story, Renee will join the Death Riders, and then the Death Riders and Don Callis family will merge forces, and then it'll become a super faction. It'll basically become the Corporation 2.0.
The Death Rider family, the corporate ministry.
The corporate ministry.
That worked out real well.
Actually, Jake, who's your independent commission?
All right, the aforementioned Mick Foley.
Okay,
is of course. I think he's got to be one. My next one is William Regal.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would be perfect.
Leaning very babyface though so far. How are you going to balance that out?
I don't know that necessarily that he is.
Regal is an infamous heel.
I mean, yes, I mean, in his now he's such a beloved figure.
His NXT time, he's been very
such a
babyface.
beloved
figure. But now when he puts on his thinking cap and he gets mixed up in the, I don't know.
Okay,
the third one that I thought of was Bad News Barrett.
Oh, I love that.
I'd kind of love Barrett because then you have Drew McIntyre trying to get in Barrett's ear, like
not Big E.
Big E would be another great one, but again,
actually,
he loves college sports too, so he gets the system.
I do have a substitute.
Yes. Oh, maybe you're right. Okay, good point.
Because you're making me think now, and I like Renee Paquette, but honestly, Sting. I'll put Sting in there. So for me, it'll be Chuck Taylor, Sting, and Don Callis. That's a great commission.
That's a great committee. Yeah.
He always attends committee meetings in makeup.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
From the ceiling.
Dude, the freaking the gray hair mane.
Yeah. Old man Sting is great. Old man Sting is great.
Silver Fox Sting.
All
I'm
saying is, like, just give me a comic book. Like, let DC
Logan
do
vibes, dude.
an Old Man Sting
vibes.
comic. It will be way too good. All right. So I have Old Man Sting, Chuck Taylor, Don Callis. For AEW. Matt, you have for TNA, who is it again?
Tom Hannafin, Tommy Dreamer, and Bully Ray.
Yeah, Tom he's going to do great there. And then Jake, who do you have for WWE?
I've got Mick Foley, William Regal, and Bad News Barrett.
Okay,
though Big E is a good alternate.
Love it.
All right. The spokesman, perhaps.
Let us know in the comments who your independent wrestling commission would be, what promotion. And it's got to be inactive people, not active wrestlers. Yes. Okay,
correct.
It's very, very important. All right, because I thought about Nigel, but Nigel sometimes likes to, dabble in and out of the ring.
Sure,
so you can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, then he's ineligible to be ranked. Then that way,
exactly.
You get into.
Then he's okay. Now it makes sense. Now he's ineligible to be ranked. Before we wrap things up, because I hadn't had a lot of, I've been traveling and stuff, so I hadn't been able to watch a lot of wrestling. So I decided that I wanted to use AI to get me up to speed on what's been happening in the world of professional wrestling. So I like to use this app, and this is an assessment of just how high quality AI is and how much of a benefit it's going to be to our society.
Or to even WWE using it as a means to write storylines.
Allegedly.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Yeah, it's true. I know. It's sad.
Although it feels like they already have been at times. So.
Very true. So I asked, what have been all the big storylines from WWE for the past 3 weeks across their main shows and their PLEs? That's what I had asked. And this is what I had gotten. And boy, howdy, it's I was going to put pay-per-view, but it was like, maybe you'll know PLE a little bit better. So here's what we got. So now in the beginning, it's like, okay, over the past 3 weeks, WWE major storylines, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and their recent PLE crown jewel have centered on championship feuds, faction warfare, and returning legends. All right, cool. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins collided, champion versus champion, a crown jewel. All right, cool. Stephanie Vaquera, cool. And this all worked out great, right? But then I kept reading, and I was like, okay, I wanted to see what's going on. Then I went to other notable storylines, and it says, The Rock's new High Chief persona and his manipulation over weekly match outcomes remain a focal point, targeting CM Punk and shifting control of Raw's main event.
You notice the source on that?
And I was like, what's the source?
Reddit.
So then I clicked on what the source was. And
is it fantasy booking?
And bro,
it's a fantasy booking.
Games. It was from the WWE Universe subreddit. What big storylines are happening in your universe? And this one says, heading into Survivor Series, Stone Cold and Dwayne have gotten to some social media beef. That's where the AI pulled from. So I'm all caught up on everything that's been happening in the world of wrestling. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's just that AI never
not
fails.
Gonna lie, High Chief gimmick and Stone Cold social media beef
actually kind of goes hard. I'm kind of down for that, you know. So,
I don't think Steve Austin posts anything other than videos of his cat on Instagram, so I don't know what the beef is going to be.
Yeah,
but
it'll be about like dogs versus cats, bro. Classic beef, you know.
Rock just calling what's his main cat's name? Shit. I feel Macho.
Yeah.
It's a soft ass cat.
It's a soft ass.
Rock's gonna call it a soft ass cat, and Steve's gonna get a real upset.
There you have it. Book it. It's all set up. Fellas, we're getting down to the wire. A lot more to talk about. Jake,
out of curiosity, this is crazy. I asked ChatGPT to create a 3-person independent committee for WWE.
And who did it make?
No shit.
Mick Foley.
William Regal, Mick Foley, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman would have been fine. Yeah.
Wow. We did Foley though. Regal I get because he's been an authority figure.
Yeah.
But Foley
it said why Foley. Foley represents
time.
the performer's perspective, advocating for creativity, heart, and fan connection, not just wins and losses. Wow. Comparable to the former player on the college football playoff committee, emotionally intelligent, empathetic, and still tuned into the product.
Oh, shoot, Jake. This was the dunk on AI segment, not stand it up. You just proved
conflicting messages.
You're working for the bots.
For the man.
If you need AI to give you some ideas, great. If you need it to recap things
for your show
summary,
useless.
It will not.
I guess so. If you need it to make something up, I guess it will make something up.
That's crazy that it actually picked this. Now I feel like my picks are bad. I don't know. Are they bad?
I think. I don't know.
Let us know, chat.
It's going to bring it to the end of the show. But as you already know, what do we do at the end of our program? We award the Rebooked 24/7 Champion of the Week, and this will be the first winner of season 2. We should keep track of it this time around. Let's do a list.
The winners?
Yeah, let's do a list. Let's keep track of it. And
are you doing it?
I mean, we can talk about it, after the fact. I mean,
I'm not going to remember it after the fact.
We need a rebook. We need a rebooked lore master to go through.
We need a lore master scan.
Scan's already.
I'm starting a file right now, text file right now.
Okay, he's doing it, guys. He's made a text file. As you guys know, if you've been watching the show for a while, this is where we talk about the person, place, thing, whatever that brought us joy this week, and we give it the Rebooked 24/7 Champion of the Week. Lots of things have happened. On the top end, I just wanted to say, got to go to No Kings Protest. That was great. Had a blast at the Glendale and Burbank one. It was really, really cool. Good experience. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. That's not my nomination. Just something I wanted to say that brought me joy. My nomination is actually the Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles. I've been playing that on my Steam Deck, and hot damn, it is good. That is a fun game. I never really got into tactics games, but I always liked them, like Fire Emblem and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed those games, but I never really dived too much into them in my childhood. Tried a few times and didn't really get it, but now as I'm older and wiser, grayer, more educated, now I'm kind of digging it. So yeah, great game. Would totally suggest playing it. And also the Steam Deck is an incredible device. Oh my God. Like I cannot stress enough how awesome playing a PC game in my hands is. It's a really, really cool, even though like Final Fantasy is not like a crazy game, but it's still pretty sick. So yeah, that's my Rebook 24/7. Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles. What you guys have?
Matt, you're muted. Or we can't hear you.
I have mute on this for when I'm streaming Keybinded, and I was typing something, and I accidentally hit
typing
it.
the document because he
shut it
was
off,
doing the
yeah.
document. That's what it was.
It's to the I put it to a weird key. I put it to the number 5, and I typed in 2025 for our list, and it
That's
muted
funny.
me. Okay.
Okay, so there you go. Mine's Final Fantasy.
Yep.
What do we have?
Gotcha.
What do we have next? Who wants to go?
I'll go next. Mine's simple. It is my case of Matt, a new chapter of Matt discovered something that he probably should have discovered 6-7 years ago when it was popular. And I'm discovering it now. And that is my wife and I started watching The Boys finally.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I thought you were going to say Twilight.
What?
I thought you were going to
So
say.
she's watched that series like a bajillion
You should watch
times.
it. You should watch it, man.
Oh,
it's
God.
great.
I did the
Great.
Hunger Games. I'm good.
Awesome.
They were pretty good, but like that's my like I don't know, like adolescent book turned into a movie series that I'll do. But yeah, so we started The Boys. We just wrapped season 1 like last night actually, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. And now I always kind of knew it because of all the memes and clips and everything.
Right.
But now I get to really understand Homelander Cody and all the references and
you see it.
costume pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think he would notice it too. It's a very like it's got to be purposeful at some point. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. He just isn't going heel anytime soon. So
Yeah. No, let's go. All right. So The Boys. All right. Didn't expect that one in 2025.
I know.
Here we go. All right, Jake, bring us back to present day.
My 24/7 champion this week is wrestlers turned actors, mostly because of John Cena in Peacemaker.
Oh yeah.
He has, and I know, and we'll talk about Dwayne in a minute, but John Cena has done such a good job getting better as an actor. And he has done such a good job in Peacemaker. He's really made that part his own. I mean, and you could see starting out when he was doing other acting gigs, just, little guest spots here and there, or even in some movies, he's kind of just playing an extension of himself to some degree. But like this Peacemaker is like, he's not John Cena.
Yeah.
He's not. He's kind of the antithesis of John Cena to a large degree. And like Cena allowing himself to be like vulnerable and raw and emotional in front of a camera as much as he was, especially in season 2, he's come along so much as an actor. Another wrestler who I don't think, granted, he's only done one role, but he's absolutely slayed it, no pun intended. Samoa Joe, as Sweet Tooth on Twisted Metal, is phenomenal.
Yeah. Especially that one it's all physical acting for him.
Yeah,
because he's not playing the voice or whatever,
right?
So
but he's actually
he is doing,
but he's doing the
but he is doing the dialogue and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And I've seen even an interview with Anthony Mackie where he was like, "This dude came in, knew my lines, knew his lines, knew everybody's lines, knew all the beats. He gets all the jokes. He knows all the timing." And I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm like, "Yeah." He knows his shit. Man. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, he is so good. Like even just when you see his eyes through the mask, the way he's just his expressions, just with his eyes and with his body, like he's phenomenal. He's so great. And I love seeing wrestlers step outside their comfort zone and show other people that they're not just big dumb brutes, that they have these talents and abilities and feelings and emotions, and that they portray these on screen all the time.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that really come across in these big projects and do so well.
You sold me, Jake. Wrestlers
I
who
think
are
so
actors, too. You are the 24/7 champion of the week, as bequeathed by the cast of Rebooked.
The first of season
That's right.
2.
The first of season 2.
There you have it, folks.
First of their name.
All right. Well, there it is. And let us know, you know, what you think of the show. We tried a different format. We went, you know, a little bit more loosey-goosey, jumping around. Really wanted to make Scan's job as an editor as difficult as possible. But yeah, you know, so let us know what you thought of the show. Sound off, you know, in our Discord. You can find the link in the description down below. You can also join us at www.rebookedpod.com. Make sure you know, give us rate us or like us or whatever, and whatever platform you decide to listen to your podcast goodness, you know, helps out immensely. And of course, if you're joining us on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back and kicking again next week. Same time, same thing. Talking and yapping about pro wrestling, the storylines that they tell in the process. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We'll see you soon. Peace. Oh, okay, we did that.